Man, I'm so bored. I've ridden all these trails like 420 times. I did the Big Mac challenge like 3 times this week.
Tell me about it. I wish the Lazy Cycling Association would just get their act together and build new trails.
Wait a second. Why don't we just build our own?
Heck yeah! I've got all the equipment in my truck.
So, shall we show you where the trails really come from? Like every great achievement in history, it all starts with an idea. Whether it's building a brand new trail, adding a new section, or creating a whole network of trails. Wherever this super epic trail idea comes from, it usually ends up in the hands of your local cycling association. In our case, we have the Revelstoke Cycling Association, better known as the RCA, and it consists of 11 board members who each have individual roles, such as trail construction, trail planning, president, events, director at large, vice president / secretary, who is away at the time, so we used his first Facebook profile photo instead, communications and advocacy, memberships, treasurer, trail maintenance, and canine relations. All volunteers brought together by their shared passion for biking and the community that surrounds it. They strive to improve and promote cycling in Revelstoke by developing mountain bike trails and infrastructure, organizing events, creating programs, and building the mountain bike community by advocating and educating in support of cycling in our town. We'd all like to think that building trails is pretty cheap. It's only a bunch of dirt at the end of the day, right? Well, it's more expensive than you might think, and a lot of effort goes into sourcing funding for trails. This includes holding events like races and family dig days, sponsorships from local businesses, as well as applying for grants. And if you've ever applied for a grant, you know it's not all fun and games. We rely on donations, which can be accepted trailside or online. And not forgetting all of the wonderful people who continually buy memberships year to year. Whilst we really want you to become a member of the Revelstoke Cycling Association, ultimately, we just want to make sure that you consider donating to support our efforts and to support the Trail Association wherever you ride. After the funding is in place, we have a couple more important steps to take before we shove our garden trowels into the dirt. With every new trail that is proposed, there are First Nations consultations, bird nests and wildlife surveys, as well as a whole whack of other paperwork that we won't bore you with. But all this to say, there's a lot more that goes into trail construction than meets the eye. Building a new trail is a big job, and the RCA will often outsource and hire local forestry, excavating, and construction businesses to help with these new builds. Equally as, if not more important than trail construction, is trail maintenance. Because when you have over 150 kilometers of trails that take a beating day in and day out, somebody has to keep them fresh. That is where these handsome chaps step in, our full-time trail crew. Even with these 3 trail building heroes working full-time, we have a lot of trail to maintain, and even more ideas on new trails to build. Volunteers also play a big part in trail maintenance, as the RCA holds weekly dig nights throughout the summer, and there's rarely a shortage of trainee trail fairies ready to get their hands dirty. And why would we go through all of this just for some measly trails? Well, That part should be pretty obvious.